Hello and good evening, crafters. I hope you're doing very well today. Alright, I'm gonna hop right in. Y'all know I don't like them long introductions. So we're gonna be doing the Granny Stitch sweater today. And we'll need some scissors. Any kind, any style. And I like to use a 5mm hook, such as this right here. And this happens to be a 3.0 one that I grabbed. I like to have a smaller one on hand in case I need it, because sometimes it's hard to get in the yarn with the size hook that you're already using. But then as soon as you use this, you go right straight back to this, because the sizes could play a big difference in how your project will turn out. And also, I have this white acrylic yarn. It's a Walmart brand, Mainstays. And I would pick this up when I can't find my passion, which is Red Heart yarn. This is very comparable to that. Alright, so let us get started. And I had already pulled my yarn from the end, but you either crochet from the middle. Sometimes you might want to check your yarn before you purchase it, because sometimes the end to pull is in there, you can't get to it, therefore making you have to start on the body part of the yarn on the outside instead of pulling it straight through here. And sometimes, depending on how thick you want your item, you pull from both places or just use a whole nother ball of yarn. So what we're going to be doing first is the body here. I'm going to be making a slip stitch, chain stitch, half double crochet in 3 clusters. Then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and repeat. And now I'm going to get my hook. I'm going to pull me some yarn out, about 6, 7, 8 inches, and you'll see why I like to use this much. And what we're going to do is take the yarn, wrap it around your finger. Take this top piece and pull over your finger and hold it. And take this piece and pull completely over the finger. And that's your slip stitch. And now I'm going to chain, just for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to make a whole entire long row, but what you want to do at this point is determine the length of the item that you're going to be crocheting. So you will want to, for a sweater, measure from your shoulders down to as far as you want the sweater to land. And with the particular sweater that I'm doing, I'm chaining 100. It goes way down. So if you wanted to stop around about a normal average waist length, chain 50. So I'm going to begin by showing you how to do this. So now we're going to do our chain stitch of, I'm going to do a chain stitch of 10, just to show you what to do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you can see how loose I did that. Please don't make your chains so thick that you can't get in them without having to force the needle into the holes. So leave them loose where you can almost see through them a little bit. It makes a difference in how your project will turn out. And a sweater, you will want it to have some pull to it, because that's the way the rest of the sweater, the body is going to be as you're crocheting. Please do not make your chain stitch too tight. And you can either add 2 more, which I'm going to do, make it 12, or you can use the 10 that you chain. So I added 2 more, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Don't count the one that's on the that's on your needle. Don't count that. So don't count that one. Count 1, 2, and then this third one right here, it's gonna look like a pretzel. Maybe you have like 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. You want to take your needle, wrap it around your yarn, and you want to go under 1 and 2 and end up having, so you want to go under those 2 pieces there, pieces of yarn there, and just have this single piece that your needle's going to go under right there. So go under here, wrap your needle back around, come through that opening you just made. Now you're going to have 3 loops. Wrap your needle around, come through 2. Now you got 2 left here. Come through 2. See that? Now in the same little hole here, you're going to put 2 more half double crochets in this hole. You're going to wrap your needle around the yarn, come back through this hole here. You're going to have 3, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. We're going to do it one more time. Go right on back where those 2 half double crochets are. Pull through 2, pull through 2 again, and then you're going to do a slip stitch. And I should have put that in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps instead of the 6 that I had. My bad. And we're going to pick our work up. Then we're going to count to the 3rd area once again. So it'll be, and you can slide the work over so you can see where that last half double ended at. So you count from here, or you can look up top right here and see you got these 3 pieces right up here that's curved on top. Count 1, 2, 3, and you loop your yarn around 1, 2, 3, go on down under those 2 pieces of yarn there, loop your yarn around, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. One more time. Loop your needle around the yarn. Stick it under those 2 pieces of yarn. Loop your needle around your yarn. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. And make your slip stitch. And this is how it's looking. And I'm going to put me some more yarn out of here. Oh, and sometimes, yeah, you'll get this, but you just gently untangle. It'll come loose. Just need to wrap this around. Keep wrapping. I would have gotten this. There we go. Sometimes you have to use something sharp to dismantle the yarn. You can just stick it through where you can. And then you need to go, so that won't happen again. It's pulling tight from look like here. So just pull this on through. Go on and wrap it around the body. And hopefully that won't happen no more. And now we're going to get to the end of our chain stitch. So I done already did my slip stitch. So now I'm going to count 3 again. I'm going to go on top here again. See, that's my last. See that my last stitch was right in here, all the way over here. So I'm counting from here. See that? 1, 2, 3. You can open this up. You can actually open it up. You see how you got them 2 pieces up top right there? So we're going up underneath both of those. Gonna loop that needle around that yarn and pull through. Loop the needle around, pull through 2. Pull through 2. I'm going to do that again. Half double crochet into that little area down there. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. Slip stitch. And we're going to count again. See there? Our last stitch is all the way over here. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. We're going to lay those 2 together and leave this one by itself. Go through there. Grab that yarn, pull through. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. And that's our first half double. That's our last one. Yeah, we're done. And there you have it. I finished my row of 10. Now what we're going to do, see how everything is laid out like that? Those openings, we're going to do the same thing. Put 3 clusters in those. First we're going to chain 2. Then we're going to turn our work around. Just like that. Now we're on the other side. Now in this first area where we started, we're going to put 3 clusters in here. The same way. And this is what you have so far. And we're going to do this again. Put 3 clusters in this area here. See how we have that there? And I'm going to show y'all something in a few minutes that I like to do. I just like to do it. Makes everything even. I need to pull some more yarn. And you'll know if you happen to get distracted, you'll know that you haven't done your slip stitch, because you have those 2 separated pieces of yarn right there. See those 2 separate pieces? So then you put them back together and you actually do your slip stitch. Now you only have that one. Did I do that right? Let's see here. Okay. Now I'm about to show y'all what I like to do. It's up to you to do it or not. I mean, you certainly don't have to, but it's just something that I find that I like to do. So this is what you have so far. See that there? That's what you have, 2 rows of your granite stitch right there. That's 2 rows. So something that I like to do when I get to the end, I'm going to do my slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 2. What I always like to do, like I said, you don't have to. You can just keep going. Turn your work and go ahead on here. But what I like to do is, I like to come over to this side. And box in that chain stitch. It's just something that I like to do. Like I said, you don't have to. You can go ahead on your 3rd row. But this is just a me thing. Doing the same thing. And this is what we have so far. I like to do that because it gets my square just so precise when I gone back around to that original starting point. It's not required. I guess a lot of people don't do it, but it's just something that I prefer doing. Pull some more of this out of here. And be careful with pulling your yarn like I just did. Because sometimes if you pull entirely too much, what happens is it starts getting tangled. I experienced that. I mean, it's easy to untangle it, but if you're trying to work, last thing you want to do is worry about untangling the yarn. I don't like it when it happens. But I just be so busy working, I just want everything laid out so I don't have to stop. Alright, so back around to the other side we go. So when we get here, go ahead on over in this corner right here. And I'm going to go ahead on and hide that piece of yarn that's hanging out. But I'm going to show you all how I like to do my yarn as I crochet as we go. I'll have enough to do it with this piece. Now, see that nice little square that we got? Well, it's not a square, it's a what is called a rectangle. A nice little four-cornered rectangle for the most part. You see what I'm alluding to. Alright, so there's that. And now I do our slip stitch. I'm going to show y'all because I don't know if let me see. Okay, I'm going to go on and take advantage and do it now. Like, I like to leave my string out. Some people take a needle and they'll slide the string in the yarn in different pieces and all like that. But what I like to do, I like to secure my yarn in case it's a gift and somebody get to pulling on pieces of yarn. It more than likely won't cause a problem. But this is what I like to do. I finished this third cluster right here, right? So in order to hide this piece of yarn right here, what I have a tendency of doing, I really want to show y'all the other way I do it. But I would take this and knot it like that. And then I'll go ahead on to crocheting. And then I'll take it again and knot it down here. Then that way it's in any little piece that might be sticking out, a little piece, I can cut it and I don't have to worry about, after it being washed, having a piece like this sticking out that somebody might fool with and cause problems with the project. If you know what I mean. And there'll be sometimes also, even with a new bundle of yarn like this, it'll be a knot in the yarn already. When there is a knot already in the yarn while I'm crocheting, I like to go ahead on and tie me another knot about yay long, like this. And I'll cut the knot off. I'll have two ends. So I'll take those two ends, and as I'm crocheting and I'm getting down to my knot, I'll take one end, and I'll go like under the piece of yarn here, and I'll take the other end, you know, make sure they're on both on different ends, and of course they'll be together, so this will be closer. But I like to tie my knot here. I'll tie one here, and as you can see, it'll be a little more yarn here just hanging out, and then I'll go ahead on and crochet on top of it. And then when I get to the end of the cluster, when there's more yarn sticking out, I like to pull it through and then tie the end together and go ahead on and crochet on top. And again, when I have that little piece of yarn sticking out, I'll just snip that off. So, you know, in the future, I wouldn't have to worry about, or maybe if you're gifting it to somebody, you don't have to worry about them seeing a knot or a little piece of yarn sticking up at the top and go to experiment and be the unwoven the whole thing. So that's just something I like to do. I find that comfortable for myself to do. Whew, I got some water boiling, y'all. It's making me hot. I'm told my coughing is coming from dry heat. I do have dry radiator heat in here. And I think I know I got a humidifier. I gotta start back using that. But while I was sitting in here, I was boiling some water, and it's helping. But boy, is it making me hot. Turn that off. Alright, so there's that. So we done came on back around that corner. We done did our 3 clusters, and we done stopped and talked. So now we don't know whether we done did our slip stitch or not. So if you look right here, you see you got this piece. It's open, basically. It's open. It's an open stitch. So that's how you'll know that you need to do your slip stitch. So we're going to close that on up. And then we're going to progress. Oh no, we're going to make chain 2 after you do your slip stitch. And then we're going to come on down, lay this piece on out. Is how I like to do. I hope I haven't confused you with too much information. I just wanted to get that in there. It'll make sense to you as you crochet. So we're back to doing the same old thing we were doing. And yeah, the hole, like right up in here, it'll be a little bigger. And what you can do to fill it in a little more, instead of using 3 clusters just for this little area here, you can use 4 or 5 to fill a hole in. Not a big deal. And we're back. We're on our 3rd row now. And what we're going to do, we're not going to ever come back this way again. We're not going to come back this way again. We're just going to keep on going. I'm going to do our slip stitch and keep this string. Trust me, you want to include your string, your ends, while you're crocheting. Very important. As a beginner, however, depending on the individual, it might be a little difficult to grasp everything at once. But try to get in the habit of incorporating your strings, well, your ends, they're called, while you're crocheting. Because then when you come to the end of your project, it's finished. You don't have to go back and cut anything. Because trust me, when you do it that way, well, you have to go take tie the strings in or knot them in or however. Who is a lot? See, like right here, if your yarn is long enough, you can knot it. But usually for something like this, I don't worry about it. It's just when I get to yarn that's coming out of the pouch here where it's in a knot. I don't like that knot. It didn't used to bother me at first, but I don't like that knot. I like to make my own long knot and do like how I showed y'all. So we're going to get this in and do the same thing. I half double. And see how that little piece sticking out like that? Just take the scissors and just snip that where you can't see it anymore. Now we're going to do our slip stitch and our half doubles to make a cluster. Now we're going to turn our work again. And see that nice little rectangle there. Nice and squared off. So now I'm going to do it again. And this is what you're doing until your body gets filled out exactly how you want it. See that? And I'll come back with the two bodies that we can put together. All right, crafters. So now that we have our body together, see here? We got the two sides, the front side and the back side. See there? Now we're going to put these together and form our sweater. So right here, I'm going to put my two sides together, and I have some yarn from when I made my when I finished. Let me go get what I was using. Okay, so with that, let me get my string together, my yarn together. So now, I'm gonna go ahead on and I'm gonna tie my yarn here. Gonna tie them together. And now you'll be able to see what I was talking about. So I like to tie together about that much. Make me a real tight knot. And now I'm gonna match these two sides together right here. So I'm going to begin by putting my needle through to here. See that? Let me make sure I'm working on the right side of the sweater. Let me see. Nope, that's the wrong side. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute, y'all. Okay. Now, so now what we're gonna do, you know, you put them together here. I'll put my needle through here. Yeah, about right here. And here. And you see there? Take this yarn, bring it through here. And right here, I'm gonna go ahead on and start using my 3.0 needle. And I'm gonna just start using slip stitches to sew these these two pieces together. And I'm gonna go in every little area up the top right here, one time, coming on across at the very tip of top. I might need to, I grabbed that 3 right there. I think I needed a 4, y'all. I'm try to use this 3 though. Let's see. So you go ahead on in there. And that's the slip stitch in there. Alright, so I got my knot right here. I'm gonna pull it through, and this one I'm gonna start tying. This is my security here. This is what I like to do right here. Tie my little knots instead of that one knot. And even sometimes you'll have to combine 2 pieces of like yarn because you run out, or you're using multiple color yarns. That's the way I would do mine as well. And go ahead on into the next area here. Pull it through. Pull it through. And see there? That's the shoulder. And our next little area here, we're including these ends right here. And we're doing our little slip stitch right here. Going on back through. And slip stitching. And going on back through here. Get through there again. The needle small. I'm going through the very tippy top of the stitch and slip stitching on through here. It look like a little small teeny weeny tiny whiny itsy bitsy braid going across right there. See there? It's like a real tiny braid. And then here. And now I got enough done. I want to tie me another knot now. Like I say, you don't have to do it. I just like to know that everything is locked in and secured. That it shouldn't be nothing to be able to make my stitch come loose. At least not washing it. Of course it will if you cut it, but there we go. And now we going on at the very tippy top over there yet again. From this side here to the side over here. And that's a slip stitch. There we go. See there? We're getting our shoulder done. All right. I'm gonna come across a little more. And you just determine, you know, what size neck space you need. And then you do one side. And then you put them together to know where you stop it on the other side. And it's just slip stitch. Now, go on down in here again. And slip stitch again. Now, pull through again. Make sure you catch it all. And I'm going through here again. Go back through again. Come on through. Another slip stitch. There we go. So now we to the end. I'm gonna tie another knot. Like I said, you don't have to do yours like this. I just do mine like this. I like knowing that my work should be secure. I'm gonna tie me another knot. Now, cut them tails off. And be careful, you don't want to mess up your work. Ooh, all of that for nothing. Ooh. That's why you want to use some little scissors like this. All right, so now we're cooking with butter. And we're going to go through this area here. See that? Now, I'm going to, of course, I done completed one side for video purposes. So I'm going to go and compare my sides together to see how much further I need to go. Because I've already determined how much neck space I need. And based on this other side, I just had to take a loose one stitch. So yeah, I just needed to take away one stitch for my neck size. So I'm gonna go ahead on and end this. Put my needle back through. Do me a slip knot. And I'm gonna leave about six inches here to work with. And I'm gonna pull that through like that. And that's a tight knot there. So now I'm gonna leave that for right now. So now we're gonna start with the sleeves. Show y'all how to do the sleeves. There we go. We're gonna do a single stitch, chain. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's the cuffs. I confused my own self. Oh, we haven't gotten that far yet. Alright. Basically with the sleeves, we're doing the exact same thing we were doing, that we've been doing all this time. So, first, you want to determine what arm space you're going to need. So you got your pieces even. Of course, obviously it's even. See there how we stitched that together? So you got to determine your arm space you're going to need. So for me, since I've already completed one arm, I'm just going to fold mine in half on the shoulder to determine where I need my other sleeve to begin. So here, I'm not going to get up and get in a stitch markers. I'm going to just use, I'm right here by some braid ties, right here. So I'm going to just determine where I want to, I forgot my stitch marker. So I want my sleeve to stop right about here. See there? So I wanted to stop right about here. So I'm going to take this braid tie stitch marker. If you got an extra piece of yarn you can use to tie your knot, you can do that. But I'm going to use this braid tie. And then I'm going to get my yarn out. And I like to start from the pit. I like to start from the pit. So right here, I'm going to put my needle there. And I am going to take my yarn. Wait a minute. Yeah. Maybe about, what's that, about 8 inches, I guess. And I'm going to take my yarn. I'm going to come in here like this. And do it again. And take my yarn, come in there like that. And I'm working from something, y'all, that I had already used. So that's why my yarn is crinkly. You're gonna pull your yarn through and do another slip stitch. Pull it tight. Then you pull it tight again. And now we're back with our tails again. So we're going to be doing the same thing. So in here, you want to do 3 clusters in here. Same way we've been doing. Pull through 2. Wait a minute. You see we're grabbing the yarn here. Put that down through there. Same thing we've been doing. And separate your yarn with your fingers if you have to. This is where, well, no, not a smaller needle either. It'll be too small, but there you go. Use your fingers, use your toes, use everything you need. See? And now that's our first half double. So we're gonna put 3 in there, and see here how I got my ends right there. Just lay them down. Going in there again. Same thing. And that should be 3. And you can go on and take your stitch marker out. It's not needed anymore. Well, maybe when I get around the other side. My bad. Leave it in. Did I lose you? I sure ain't mean to. Well, I'm gonna start again, y'all. I ain't mean to lose that. I wanted to incorporate that in. I really did. I wanted to get that in. Alright, so I'm back down to 1. Alright, here we go. Get my tail in. Your yarn may not do this. Remember, I'm using reused yarn, so it's loose. The strands, there's 3 strands of yarn, and they've gotten loose from me pulling them. Well, I'm going to start up with my knot while I got enough yarn to knot it. I think I had a second piece, a second tail, didn't I? That's alright. This is how you do it when you just have the one. How I like to do it anyway. Seeing that's there, that's not going anywhere. And I'm gonna keep on going with it. of this last little knot here. I'm gonna tell y'all another something that I do. When I get down to this little bit, this is just me, y'all. Y'all can go on the cross and leave it going like it's going, but this is just what I like to do. So, but I'll do this too. I'll divide the strands up, and I still get my knot in just like this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do, just like that there. Now we can keep going through our slip stitch because we've completed our 3 clusters. And now, and if you have a knot in your yarn, don't worry about it. Just keep on going. You'll never know it's there. Just make it tighter. And we're going to go all the way around until we get to the other pits. And this is what we have so far. See our sleeve beginning to form? It's beginning to form. You really see it when we come back around. I'm going to go ahead on in here right here. And in here, of course. Okay. There we go. Excuse me, y'all. completing our third cluster, almost to the end of our first row. And get in the habit of reviewing your work before you move on to another row. It's so easy to get distracted. You know, we're human. To make sure you have 3 clusters instead of just 2 or just 1 slip stitch in the cluster area, or even 4. I've completed projects to realize I've done 4, which is okay. I don't worry about the 4s like I do the 1s and the 2s, because I've done that. It happens. Now we can remove our stitch marker. So now we're going to, well, I didn't have to remove it right then, but it's done now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do my slip stitch, and I'm gonna put this in here. So don't move your stitch marker until you complete this final step right here. Not to throw yourself off. Sorry about that. Now we got our closed in sleeve. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put that in through there and pull through, do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to start up doing the same thing I was doing all the way around. Crocheting is so rewarding as well as relaxing. I love the relaxation part. And I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to come down, back down, or back on when I'm ready to do the cuffs on the sleeves. And just keep going on around. Alabama woman done received a pig kidney transplant. Alright, so we're going into here. Wait a minute now. Yeah, I moved that stitch marker when I shouldn't have. Wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Keep your stitch marker in. You really don't, if you use a stitch marker, you really don't, or either a string, you don't have to remove it till you're done. That bread tire was sort of kind of in my way. All right. So this is what we have so far, y'all. There we go. That cluster, there we go. See there? The formation of our sleeve. Ooh, it's hot in here. Got on more clothes than what I normally have on. All right. Where we at? So we coming on around. So we're just going to continue on with what we've been doing. I'm going to leave that alone right there. I'm going to put one in here. Let me see. Now here we go right here. Yeah, so separate it with your 3. Leave your stitch marker in. And it's always good to watch the video first before you begin. And we're just going to continue to go on around. And like I say, I'm going to come back when it's time to do the ending part of the sleeve. But that's what we have so far. You see how sleeve begins to form right up and through here. And we're going to close the sides in, and I want to come back. All right, y'all. I'm back, crafters. So now that we have gotten our sleeve all done, now I'm going to show y'all how to do the cuffs. I call them cuffs, but it's just the ending part of the sleeve. And it'll draw this together to fit around the wrist. And this is what we'll be doing, the single stitch, and we'll chain 2 and do the slip stitch, and I'll show you what I mean. So I just ended my work here. I ended it right here. I hope there's not too much light. Let me see something. Wait a minute, y'all. Might be too much light all together. Let me see about this light here. I think I liked it better, maybe. Let me see. I'm gonna try it like this. Alright, so this is where I ended it. So I'm going to even this off a little bit by starting from my cluster and just going down in here and making a slip stitch. And that pretty much even them up pretty good. Alright. Can't get my light together, y'all. I'm gonna leave it like that, I think. So now what I'm going to do is gonna chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. No, that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've chained 10. Now what we got to do, and I did chain that a little tight. Okay, I'm back. I got me a smaller, that size 4 needle that I like to use. Alright, so I've chained 10 here. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to turn my chain over closer to me. And in the back here, it's a piece that sticks up in the center on the back side. Let me see if I can focus this in. I know what I can do. I'm going to take this loose. We're going to do this again. I'm going to chain 10. Well, actually, okay, that don't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, right here, standing up a little bit better now. So if you flip your chain over, you will see, I don't know if this is focusing or not. When you turn it over in the center, you'll see going down that braid a couple of pieces that just stands up. I'm pulling them up now. If you can see that, I hope you can see that. But turn your braid over and right straight down the center. It's a single strand that just stands up going all the way down. We're going to take our needle and we're going to crochet inside that loop. And this is what I'm doing here. Then I'm rotating around to the back and I'm going inside of that centerpiece, that single centerpiece that's in the back. See that? Then I'm gonna wrap my yarn around and I'm gonna pull through. I'm gonna pull through 2. It's a little tight. And pull through 2 again. There we go. And I'm going to go back in. And I'm going to flip that braid over. And I'm going to go through the next little hump that's back there. Right there. I'm going to pull through 2. And pull through 2 again. This is what it's looking like so far. Yeah, that'll be my 10th one there. Alrighty, so now that we've done that, what I'm now going to do This next section right here, I'm gonna do a slip stitch in here. Wait a minute, I did that wrong, my bad. A slip stitch. And then try to use this one right here. And then after I do that, and that's the way it should look, I'm going to this next section. Then I'm going to turn my work. And again, I'm going to proceed to go into the back loop. And turn your work over. See that back loop right coming? I hope y'all can see this. It's right on the back side. That little single piece going all the way down there. We're going to crochet right into there. The same way. These are, what these called? Half double crochets. Don't mind me. Y'all, I just learned how to crochet without even learning the different stitch patterns. I just read and just went on and took off without learning the stitches. So here's the first back loop right here. No, I think I just posed it, yeah, just go in here like this. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Now this is actually chain stitch half double. These are actually, yeah, these are actually, I was looking at the wrong place. These are actually single stitches that I'm doing now. It's actually a single stitch. Chain one, and this is what it's looking like currently. And then I'm going to go on around here after I've chained one. And I'm going to do the same thing. Find my back hoop or loop. Don't twist it too far around. There we go. Alright, so here, the first one, do the same old single stitch that I've been doing. See those in the back hoop? Still in that back loop right here. Right in the back on that top row area. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'll do me a slip stitch. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. Is that the way I should do that? Yeah. I'm going to turn my work. That's what it's like so far. And again, back into the back hoops, that top row right at the top. Lights blinding me. Alright, let's see here. Forgive me for being so quiet. I say this is relaxing. Still in the back loop. And this is what we're going to be doing all the way around until we're done. And we're still doing the single stitch. And this is what it's looking like so far. And I'm almost finished what I'm working from. I had made a sweater that ended up being too small for my little baby. And they've been hanging up for a whole year. So I'm glad to finally be finished with the last part of unraveling it. This is the last little bit right here. I had done it a whole nother way. And in this period of time, I've grown, so I'm capable now of doing a much better job. So I'm glad of that. All right, let's see. Might not be able to. I don't know if any more gonna come off of here. That's it. No problem. So there's that. I'm glad to finally be done. So now I'm gonna go around here again. So I have did my slip stitch. So now I'm gonna be going into that next loop that's standing up in the back and doing my single stitch if I can. That's why I like to have smaller needles handy. Sometimes it's just a little difficult. Just gotta maneuver everything just so. There we go. And we're going to start another row, and then when I get done, I'm going to come back and show you how I close up the cuffs or the sleeves. Pretty much the way we did the shoulders. Alright, so now we're going in here, in this one, 5 slip stitch. There's that. And then we're doing the did I half double that time, didn't I? I need to write this on here too, don't I? Single stitch, half double. Says the one that didn't learn stitches. I didn't learn stitches. I learned the single stitch, and that is what I used up until 5 years ago when I made my first dress. And I made it for my grandbaby. Whew. All right. So now I'm going to, and I just did another slip stitch. And now we're doing the same thing. Going into the back loop there. And do the single stitch. I had to learn from a book, so whew, it was a little complex not having someone to sit with me hands-on, whereas now, today, there's YouTube, and that's where I learn from. YouTube. That visual is good for me versus a book, especially, like I said, when you don't have anyone sitting there to guide you. So after learning that single stitch, that was what I used to make everything. Which all I made was blankets. Everybody had a blanket. My treat. Now I don't want to make blankets anymore. Whew, they take a lot of time. Oh, brother, come on now. Alright, and do my slip stitch, and I'm going to turn. This is what we have so far. I'm going to turn my work. I've done my slip stitch. And I'm going to look for that back loop row again. That row of back loops. Oops. Let's see here. I think I'm done with that. It's probably 10 in the way. Let me see. More than 10. So that's good. So I'm going to do my slip stitch again. So we're going to go in here like that there and come around. Go this way. Then I'm going this one. Like that. Then I'm going to do me a slip stitch. I'm going to turn my work, and this is what we have so far. We have about 5 good rows here. See there? And we're going to go over a row one more time, and then I'm going to come back when I'm at the end. Kind of loose. Let's see. I could get in there too. Okay, so now for the last time, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go into this next area here. I'm gonna do a slip stitch. I'm gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna loop my yarn around. Go in here, loop around, and I'm gonna pull all the way through all of them. Then I'm gonna do another slip stitch. Then I'm gonna turn my work, and I'm gonna go back into the back hoop or loop, and I'm gonna do it all over again. I don't think that's the next loop though. Let's see. It's the light getting me. Let me see here. Yeah, it's this one right here. Alright, y'all. Hope you have that. I'm going to finish this cuff, and I'm going to come back and we're going to close it up. And then I'm going to show you how you close your side in and how I outline the sides as well. And then we should be finished unless we want to do embellishments. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on here. I thought about it. I'm not sure right now though. I may. Which that'll be another video for you all if I do. So I'll be completed after we finish the sides, okay? Alright, I'll see you when I'm done. Alright, crafters, I'm back. Before we begin, let me say that I took a loose about 3 or 4 rows. Because as you can see, I counted 14 on that last line I did, and that is not correct. Should be just 10. So let us begin. I wanted to come back in and do like a quick review of what I was doing in case you missed it, perhaps. So we're doing that back loop, going in and doing our single stitch. So going in the back hoop right there, grabbing the yarn, bringing it through, coming through 1, then coming through 2. Then this last stitch up top here, pulling through there, wrapping the yarn, pulling through 1, pulling through 2, doing your slip stitch, turning your work. Alright. And I'm going to come through again, going in the back loop. And I'm going to see y'all at the end. Okay, so I finished this stitch. I'm gonna show you what I did again. So I counted, I have about 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I had 11. I just took that out. I unraveled that one. So 10 or 11 stitches. Don't go past 10 or 11. Okay? Alright, so now what I'm doing, I'm going to wrap that yarn around the hoop. I'm going to go in this hole right here. Did I do that right? No, that's not right. Because I just want to do a, what you call it, a slip stitch. So I'm going to go in this hole first. See that next hole right there? I'm going to pull it, I'm going in that hole right there, see it? Pull the needle around, loop that yarn through, and then I'm gonna pull back on that little piece there. Then another. No, I'm not gonna do a slip stitch. Not yet. My bad, y'all. Got me going slow. Alright, so here we go. So now I'm gonna loop the needle around the yarn. I'm going to the next area. Loop the yarn around the needle. And then I'm pull through all 3 pieces. Did you get that? I'll do it one more again. So I'm gonna grab my yarn, go in the hole and put my needle around, and I'm gonna grab that yarn, pull it through all 3 of those hoops right there, and grab the extra piece. Alright. There we go. Now I'm going to do my slip stitch. Now I'm going to go back up here. So we're going to start again. Then I'm going to come back around. Okay, so I done got to the tippy top, to the end. So now what I'm going to do, let me see here. Yeah, I'm my small needle. Did I bring it in here? I think this is the smallest one I brought in here with me. Wait a minute, y'all. So this is what we have right here. See that? Open sleeve going around like that. So now we're just going to close this up. You see how I just did that? I found my end over here, and I just put it in this loop over here. I'm going to do a little slip stitch like that, and I'm going to go back and forth like I did when we did the shoulder. So I'm going to just go in each little top braided area. Put keep the two braids together on each side and just slip stitch on down. Make sure you got four pieces of the woven yarn. Each section you go to, like the front and the back piece, grab both pieces, the front and the back, and just do a slip stitch. There we go. Mm-hmm. All the way down to the end there. All right. And there we go. I'm gonna go in here. Right there, I'm gonna pull that together to close that up some. There we go. So I'm finished with that sleeve. So here's a turnout here. I did with this other one over here. Yeah, turn out the same way. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, now see that the sleeve we have? There we go. Now y'all know I like to hide my yarn. I'm gonna go on and weave it through here and tie my knots and do all that old good stuff. That's good enough. Just trying to slide it down a little bit more. That's good. I'll do my last little bit I like to do. Like I said, you don't have to. You can snip yours off if you want to. This is just a me thing. I'm gonna put it right here. Now, cut that off. And our sleeves are done. Now I'm going to show you how to put these sides together. Alright. See, we got this side open right here. See, it's still split in two. And I done already closed this other side up over here. So that's closed. But I excuse me. I have a it's not a closed sweater. I have slits going up the sides with this one. So I'm gonna use again, I didn't bring my stitch marker. I'm gonna use this braid tire just to help me navigate where I'm going to be done with closing the sides in. See, I closed the sides in on this one right here. So now I gotta close the sides in over on this side. So from the armpits to here is where I need to close this one in at. So it's about right here is where I'm gonna, right here is where I'm gonna put my braid tire or stitch marker, and I'm gonna leave it loose this time. If I would have left it looser the last time, it would have been okay, but I closed it in too tight. So there we go. So now we're going to do the same thing that we did on the sleeve, on the shoulder. We're going to slip stitch from from the armpit on down. All right, so you put your needle in and make your little loop. And bring your loop through and make your little knot there. Just like that. There we go. So now we're gonna go from, how I do this is by, let's see how I did this. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So what I like to do, seeing the 3 clusters right there, it's the 3 clusters. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, so if you got 3 clusters, you have 2 openings. I go in between the 2 openings and come out on the other side, pull my yarn through, and slip stitch. Now here's the second cluster I'm going into. I'm going to slip stitch again. And then I'm going in and opening twice. I think that's how I did the other side. Yeah. See that? I'm going here a second time. I think that's how I did that. Let me make sure. No, I didn't do it quite like that. Not quite. Wait a minute, y'all. I didn't slip stitch. I did a single crochet. That's why it's good to watch the video first. All right, let's see here. I go and double loop that. Come on, that's all right. Oh, I'll single loop it. There we go. All right, so back what I was saying, I'm going from front to back, and I'm gonna do me a single stitch. You know what? Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Then I'm going to go in the second cluster and come out the other way. On a single stitch. Then I'm going in an opening. See there? I was closing that up. I hope y'all can see that. There you go. Alright. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm on this strand right here is just going on down with us. And I'm going down to the end and I'm going to come back. So that's 2 in the opening, and then where the clusters are, you're doing a single crochet into 2 spaces between the clusters. And that's it. And I will meet y'all at the braid tire or stitch marker. And you can use anything that you feel comfortable with for the stitch marker. Alright, crafters, I'm back. I just tied my slip stitch here at the end. So now what I'm going to be doing is basically the same thing, but I'm going to start from the bottom and I'm going to come around. I'm going to go around. How many times I go around here? Was it once or was it twice? One time to finish off my ends here, down here. So I got a piece of yarn or ends that's hanging right here, so I'm going to start on this side, and what I'm going to do is tie my knot like how I say I like to do it to connect my yarn again. Alright, so I'm going to turn my work around so we can get started, and you can see how I'm going to outline this sweater. Alright, I think I can use, I'm going to go to my size, I'm going to go back to my size 5 needle. So what I will be doing is, like I say, just outlining the, and you may not have even done yours this way, but just, you know, leaving your slits on each side, but that's how I'm happen to be doing this sweater. So I'm going to put my needle through that first opening right here, and I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to just start crocheting. I think I went through each little hole coming up. Yep. So I'm going to go through, again, each little pole that I see coming on up. And that's how I'm going to finish off my sweater. And I'm doing a single stitch all the way through. And I didn't tie my little knot, did I? I'll tie it right here. And I'm pretty much doing the same thing. And the clusters just going in between the clusters twice. You know, you got 3 clusters, so you have two openings. Same thing all the way down and around. And we're doing a single stitch. And this is what it's looking like so far. And I will come back when I am done. Okay? But this is all we're doing. The same thing we did on the was it on the sleeve? Let me see. Was it on the sleeve? Oh, well, when we closed in the side. Same process. Same old process. So I'll come back when I'm done. Because I got to decide what I want to do about my collar. I'm not sure. I usually close the collar in, so more than likely that's what I'm going to be doing, closing the collar also, the same way. Alright, I'll see you when I'm done. Alright, crafters, I've closed in my sides, which you'll see on the mannequin. But I put the finishing steps around there, around the edges here. So that's all done. I framed them. I'm not going to do the bottom. I'm going to leave the bottom like it is. I do believe, so far, that's the plan, to leave the bottom like it is. But this is the framing right here. This center area right here, I even put a stitch in here and took it on around. So that's done. But I'll show you. You'll see better pictures of it on the mannequin. So now we've gotten our sleeves and closed in our sides and all that old good stuff. So now I'm going to frame the I usually do like to frame the collar. So that's what we're gonna be doing now. So I'm gonna go ahead on and tie me some yarn onto this end piece that's hanging. I always leave my ends hanging. Don't deal with them until you've completed your project. Just leave whatever's hanging. All right. So I'm going to start on the collar from this way. So what I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start in the corner as far as I can, which is right there. And I'm going to do me a slip stitch. And I'm going to go in this area here. And I'm going to do a single crochet all the way around. And as you can see, I'm just doing going in each area just once. Because for me, my clusters were a little bit smaller right through here. I don't know how, but they're a little smaller. I'm going to tie my knot right here, so I can make sure this end is in here real good. I'm going to go on and start off doing that. There we go. Let me lay that on back across now. Okay, so how was I doing this? I think did I do it? I'll do it like that. Yeah. Yep, that's how I was doing it. Just single crochet. Oh, and just so you know, when you're doing when you know you're going to be working on a project and you got to buy your yarn, it's a good idea to get the skeins of yarn at one time, you know, at the same place, because a lot of times you have variations in color because they dye the yarn. You have variations in color, like this sweater that I've worked on. They're all white, but in certain areas there are different variations of white. Because like I say, this project started from one that I unraveled a year ago, so it was going to be pretty much next to impossible to make a match with that. So, which the variation of color for me, it don't bother me, you know, because these days the style goes all sorts of kind of ways. But I just wanted to let you know that you want to get your yarn, all of it that you're going to need at one time if you can. It's lot sizes that'll show you the lot number, and that's where all of the yarn will come from. That lot number, not sizes, my bad, lot numbers. So I'm gonna go ahead on and cut this. I feel pretty good about it being secure. So that's done. That'll be there. And that's what we have so far. Coming across like that. And take a few minutes, to go back and look to make sure everything, is the way it should be. Make sure everything is nice and even and laid the way it's supposed to go. And you could have continued to do 2 and 2. I'm just not doing it. I'm good with going in each area doing only 1. And that's what I'm going to do till I get to the other side. So I will see y'all when I finish the other side. Alright, crafters, I'm back. I decided to go ahead on and frame the bottom. So I've already done one side. So I ended up using this is about a see, this a 3.0. This is about a 2.5 or 2.0 needle that I use to frame the bottom. And what I did was I just changed my mind. I just decided to just do it. So let's see. So you know how we get started. I'm going to start by going in all the way over here in the corner. And I'm going to every little small stitch that I see. and then we'll be done. I have to figure out if I want to decorate this sweater or not. I'm not sure right now. Embellish it. I don't know. I haven't decided. I may or may not. And with the bottom, what I did was, in the bigger holes, I went in 2, maybe even three times to get this look where it wouldn't be any holes in between. See how you can't see in between? I did the real tight stitches. And this is it, the last bit for this Granny Square sweater. Very easy and beginner friendly. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Lay that back down. I'm going all the way across and then I'll be done. Never be. Would you be? Did the same. See there? That's what we got right there. Just like the other side. And I'm going to put this on the mannequin and show the detail. Okay? I thank y'all for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now. Hey crafters, here's the finished product right here. This is the sweater. I left my scissors in the other room. There we go. But this is the finished product right here. And this is how I framed the bottom there. And this is the slits up the side I mentioned. I'm making her also a shorter white sweater that's just gonna be normal. Like I say, I embrace my mistakes. I actually chained too many, so I just went with it and just made her a long sweater with the slits up the side. And this is our sleeves here. And this how it turns out. Remember when I counted to 14? This is what happens when you don't stay on task. That's a little uneven, but I didn't fool with it. It's okay. But I did the other sleeve with just 10 rows all the way across. No more than 11 for sure. But this is the finished product right here.